Alright, so simple intro for this because you already know. Welcome back to Combat and Kick It. We are here for the high stakes fighter breakdown for Max Blessed Holloway, the former featherweight champion, the former BMF champion, one of the most exciting fighters in the game, if not the most exciting fighter in the game. So let's waste no time. Let's get into the high stakes fighter breakdown and let's smoke. So Max Blessed Holloway. There's nothing bad I can say about Max Holloway. I'm a huge fan of Max Holloway. I think almost every MMA fan is a fan of Max Holloway. Like I said at the beginning of this, one of the most exciting fighters in the game, if not the most exciting. You know, every time Max Holloway is in there, you are getting an exciting fight. This last fight, you can't take nothing from that. Charles went in there and did not fight a BMF style fight. He fought the fight that he would fight to win the lightweight championship, not the fight that the fans wanted to see him fight to win the BMF championship. Now, Max Holloway is a true BMF. That belt being around his waist was one of the truest spots for that belt to be, because Max Holloway is game as they come. He wants all the smoke from anybody in any division. It does not matter. Max will sign on that dotted line to fight anybody. And that is why he has my respect and so many other fans' respect, because he is just that guy, right? You need somebody you can call Max Holloway. He's not going to say no. Who is Max Holloway turning down? Who is he scared? He was about to fight Khabib on 2 days' notice. I think it was 2 days notice. Might not have been 2 days. Might have been like 5 days notice. A week notice. But that's still insane. He didn't even get medically cleared to fight that fight. And he was still down to fight that fight. That man wanted all the smoke. And honestly, that's the thing that makes Max Holloway so freaking dangerous. He don't fear nobody. Not one fighter in there does he fear. When he fought Justin Gaethje, he stood toe-to-toe in a pocket with Justin Gaethje and traded. No fear of the danger and got the knockout win. He went in there and traded with Dustin Poirier with no fear of the danger and got the knockout win. He even went in there and he did well against Ilya. He did not have fear of getting knocked out. It just happened that Ilya is that guy with the hands. He cracks hard. He cracks hard. I mean, Max Holloway is one of those dudes that it does not matter. He will go in there and he will fight his fight. Win, lose, or draw, he's going to fight his fight. And a lot of the guys have not been able to crack the code. If you really think about it, who has cracked the code of Max Holloway? Like, I'm talking about crack the code. Two people, Volk and Ilya. Yeah, Dustin's beat him. Yeah, Connor's beat him. And Charles has beat him. But it's really Volk and Ilya cracked the code, because Max Holloway on the feet, he is best when he has that high volume, pressure, controlling the pace. He couldn't against neither of them. Ilya had him circling. Ilya had him on the back foot. And for Volk did things that other guys weren't doing to Max. Hitting him with the leg kicks, switching stances, moving left and right, a lot of lateral movement, continuously with the leg kicks. Like he snapped a lot of leg kicks off in that first fight, body kicks, and Volk is powerful. So you're kind of like, as a fighter, you're like sitting back, trying to protect yourself from that big heavy shot, but at the same time, he's mixing in so many different things. You can't tell when that shot's coming. If that shot's coming, it might finish you, it might just hurt, and he might hit you with 3 leg kicks and a body shot. You never know with Volk. And Volk kind of figured out the code on keeping Max Holloway from being able to do what Max Holloway does best, and that's throw as many punches as he wants in a fight. What he did to Calvin Kattar absolutely just pummeled the man. What he did to Brian Ortega pummeled the man. He was the underdog against Brian Ortega. I want y'all to remember that. He was the underdog against Brian Ortega. This was post the fight with Khabib, or almost the fight with Khabib. This is him coming back from people thinking that, ooh, this man's probably got a bad brain injury from all the damage he's taken, or Max Holloway doesn't look good, and Brian Ortega seems like the truth, man. He was on a 6-fight winning streak. He was dogging people. He just knocked out Frankie Edgar with that nasty uppercut. Brian really looked like he was going to be a problem. Max Holloway came in, and this is what I mean with Max Holloway. This is why he has so many fans. That man didn't care. He did not care. He was going in there to prove, okay, all of you think I'm losing to this man. Y'all, let me remind you who I am. And that's exactly what Max Holloway did. He got in that octagon. He reminded everybody who the fuck he was. And he beat the brakes off Brian Ortega. And from that point on, I think that's when he started reaching more of a like fuller fan base. Not just the MMA fan base, but started reaching out to more of the casual fan base as well. Max Holloway will always have fans. Unless the man goes and does some terrible, stupid shit outside, which I don't see Max Holloway doing, that man will always have fans. It's like Eddie Guerrero back in the day. Anybody ever say they disliked Eddie Guerrero? Really think about it. Anybody ever say they did? It's like fucking, no matter of fact, Max Holloway is the Jeff Hardy of the UFC, right? Everybody likes Jeff Hardy. Everybody likes Max Holloway. Jeff Hardy was all about that smoke. He didn't care. He was doing the craziest shit. And Max Holloway is all about that smoke, don't care, and will fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. That's pretty well balanced with that one, I would say. But I'm super excited to see Max Holloway in there because you can't take much from the last fight, man. I said this in a couple episodes now. You really can't take anything from the last fight. It's not that he went out there and got mauled or anything like that. It's just Charles used the grappling and the size to his advantage. Charles was definitely bigger. Charles was definitely stronger. And he was definitely stronger in that category. And I just think that there was almost like an unsaid thing that the BMF belt was going to be something that you scrap for, not wrestle for. And Charles kind of treated that like he was fighting for the lightweight belt, and I think that's why the fight came out the way it did. I think Max was probably expecting the fight to be on the feet for the most part. Yeah, obviously, Charles' Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is top tier, but you saw how Charles wanted to challenge himself against Gaethje, wanted to challenge himself against Poirier. Why not Max Holloway? He said, nah, you know what, I'm not going to get in that slugfest with Max Holloway. Now, there was a lot of exchanges on the feet where Charles actually did win the exchanges. Max didn't look that sharp, but when you have that secondary guess in the back of your head, like, man, is he going to shoot again? Is he going to shoot? And he doesn't shoot normal. He shoots high. A lot of times Charles is shooting high, going for a trip, and Max is usually hard to get down, but Charles is Charles. Right, but I just don't think Max was prepared for that. He was prepared for a different type of fight. And I think just the aura behind the BMF belt, there was an unwritten rule that it should have been a certain type of fight. That should legitimately only be a stand and bang belt. Right? You should only time it should go to the ground is if someone gets rocked or you get rocked and you have to shoot. Right, I don't think it should be something where I guess it depends on the matchups, right? It's not something where you could be like, oh, it's only stand and bang. There's no, that's not really a thing. It's not a video game, but you pick the right matchup, it's just going to be naturally stand and bang, I think Charles wasn't a bad matchup. I think expectations everybody had was Charles was going to go in there and fight, but he wrestled. He got the win. Don't take nothing from that from Max. Obviously, we always say you're only as good as your last fight. Conor McGregor's last fight was 5 years ago, and Max Holloway's last fight was one that he probably wasn't properly prepared for because that wasn't in his mindset. That wasn't in his head that he was going to get wrestled. So I can't take nothing from their last fights, right? I don't know what type of fighter we're about to get. I think you're going to get a Max Holloway who is going to look to get off everything that he didn't get off in the McGregor or in the Oliveira fight. All the action, all the volume that he was going to try to throw, I think you're going to see that in this, because I don't think he has to worry. Even if McGregor shoots or clinches or closes the distance or tries to wrestle, he doesn't have to have the same fear that he had with Charles after Charles shot a few times and then just showed his cards that this is what I'm going to do the rest of the night. I don't think you'll see that from McGregor, even if McGregor got him down. You know what I'm saying? But I do see McGregor trying. I can see McGregor messing around like that. Max is not easy to get down. But yeah, I could see him wanting to just unleash a lot of volume. And that, obviously, saying that's going to lead me into his keys to victory. Number one key to victory, volume. That's Max Holloway's number one key to victory, in my opinion, every time. No matter what type of fighter you are, when you are continuously getting punched in the face, or there's continuously fist flying at you where you have to block one and you get caught with another, block the next one, and you just get it's just flurry of punches coming at you, and you're not moving your head, you're not getting out the way fast enough. It doesn't matter who you are. That's going to wear on you. And Max Holloway is the best when it comes to volume punching. He is the best to put those combinations together. He keeps it down the middle. He's quick. He's long and lanky. It's crazy how he doesn't have that crazy long of a reach for being kind of like a tall, skinny dude. But he knows how to land good combinations. 1-2. He'll throw a 1-2 and then follow a 1-2 up again. He'll throw the 1-2, stall, and throw a 1-2 again. Or he'll throw 1-1. 2, 1-1, 2 to the body. Like Max will mix it up. Max will definitely always switch it up, right? Like some of his combinations are repetitive, but some of them he mixes them up well. Might end it with a kick. Sometimes he likes to throw those combinations and ends it with a kick. And I think McGregor has to be careful if getting into a combination war with him and he has to get out at the end of it. Max Holloway is chucking up a kick at the end of it, so you got to be careful of that. But I do think volume is the number one key to victory for Max Holloway. And obviously this second key to victory goes hand in hand with the first one, and it also was a key to victory for Conor McGregor, but it's pressure. And this is a different type of pressure. This isn't necessarily being the guy to put McGregor on his back foot and don't allow him, because McGregor could knock you out off the back foot. That's exactly what he did against Jose. He wasn't in the lead. He was coming back. He stepped back and knocked him out. So McGregor can knock you out on the back foot. So it's not pressure like that. It's pressure of not allowing McGregor to find a moment of being able to be comfortable, right? Don't let him get comfortable in any situation, right? Continuously let things off. Make it awkward. Get in and out. But keep moving. Keep the fight moving and moving and moving and moving and moving. Max Holloway is so good at setting that pace, and once he sets that pace, he can set little traps, and then he just starts unloading the volume, right? His pressure doesn't have to be pressure of pushing a guy back up against the cage. That's not necessarily Max's best spot. Max does good work right in the middle of the octagon, but the pressure has to be continuously forcing something. Not necessarily forcing, but continuously pushing to do something, to make some sort of damage, to make something happen, right? He's got to really just put his foot on the gas pedal and not take it off. Because I think once McGregor starts eating 3, 4, 5 punch combinations, that might be a problem for him. I don't think McGregor's going to like that. Who's going to want to come back after a 5-year layoff and fight a guy who throws 300 punches in a fight and lands 300 punches? Oh, it's a very tough one. Very tough one. I also think it's not really like a key to victory, but something that he should utilize in the fight is that same jumping, like spinning heel kick or whatever he did that he landed on Gaethje to the nose. He was throwing that kick was going to the body. Justin just was coming down and it landed on the nose. But those kicks to the body, those do damage. And I think Max has a lot of success with those because he doesn't telegraph them. So I would say add a little bit of that into the arsenal. If he does utilize some kicking, I think McGregor's going to utilize kicking. I think he should utilize leg kicks, right? That is a key to victory. Work on the leg kicks, right? Get to leg kicking before McGregor gets to leg kicking you. Max isn't the best at checking him, but he throws good leg kicks, right? So just get to snapping him off, and it would take one half of McGregor's game out. His good fluent kicks, you just took away from him. And not only that, if you're beating him up in the legs, you just took away all of his base for his power. So I think working the lower half for Max Holloway is a huge key to victory as well. So we look at negatives for Max Holloway. Max Holloway does throw a lot of volume, but with a lot of volume, there is openings. No matter who you are, with a lot of volume, there's openings because you're throwing a lot of punches. You don't have the second to bring your hand back up sometimes. Sometimes you're not quick enough. So if he misses a couple of those punches and McGregor's able to slip and rip, that's where McGregor finds the success. So you want to avoid overthrowing anything, right? If he lands the 1-2, follow up with the 1-2. If you miss the 1-2, reset. You know what I mean? I think that's the best bet for him because you just don't want to leave yourself wide open to get caught with a counter shot. McGregor might have been out the game for 5 years, but power is the last thing to go, and him going up to 170, he might be carrying some major power in this. So you never know, and he looks yoked. So Max has just got to be careful when he is letting off the volume. Obviously, he knows how to work it. We all know he knows how to work. We've seen him when he takes control, when he gets into that flow state. But with a guy like Conor McGregor, who is a slick counterpuncher, you just have to be careful overthrowing any of your shots. So that's one negative. It's not necessarily something he always does. You just want to be careful. I mean, Max does get clipped in his fights a lot. So you want to be careful just overthrowing anything against a guy who's a known counterpuncher with a lot of power. Another negative, I think, is outside the octagon for Max. Obviously, McGregor is going to be bringing a lot of heat when it comes to the trash talk, and he's going to try to get in Max's head. And Max said in a Brett Okamoto interview that he's used to it. He's from Hawaii, where they get in each other. They talk shit to each other all the time. They're always messing with each other in that way. But I think at the same time, if you focus in on that, and you focus in on trying to overdo McGregor in the shit talk, you're going to lose sight of how you are on fight week. And I think he did that against Volk in the third fight. You remember how heated he was. He was heated. He got emotional. Max Holloway was emotional in that third Volkanovski fight, so he cannot let his emotions get into this fight too much. I don't think McGregor is saying anything that's gonna be harmful. I think it's just gonna be typical fighter shit talk. Like him saying, I'm going to son you, or you are my son, Max. You're not going to touch me with a shot. Like, that's normal MMA trash talk. So I think that's just what you're going to get from McGregor. I don't really see him crazily getting in Max Holloway's head, but it does seem like he's in there a little bit. He's in there a little bit. And the last negative is he doesn't want his back up against the cage where McGregor is closing the distance. Like I said in the other breakdown for McGregor, that he's going to want to close the distance. He's going to want to clinch. He's going to want to put Max Holloway in uncomfortable spots. But Max's best bet is not trying to stay in there and land anything. Just get out, circle out, and almost completely circle out and put Conor's back to the cage, and don't go back into the clinch. Use your distance, use your range, start landing those volume shots, throw some body kicks, throw some leg kicks, mix it up a little bit. That's the best bet. But I think a negative is having his back up against the cage. It's not like having your back up against the cage against a wrestler. It's just McGregor is going to be able to cut you off that way, and if he is going to look to clinch or do any type of grappling, because it does look like through his training that he is grappling a little heavy. Maybe it's just because he's 5 years out and he's looking to, get better, polish up every part of his game again. But you never know. You never know what he might want to mix up after seeing what happened with Charles. Maybe he realizes, size is an advantage against Max, and if I could wrestle him and I can get him down, maybe I can go for a submission or something like that. You never know. You never know. It's a different version of McGregor, but guess what? It's a majorly different version of Max Holloway since the last time he fought McGregor. This is a way different version. So as much as Holloway's got to be careful, McGregor's got to be careful as well. It's a very interesting fight. It's an interesting matchup. 14 years in the making. 14 years? No, 14. 12. 12, I think. 12 or 13. 12 or 13 years in the making. So that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild to think. And I think a lot of people did not expect this fight to ever happen again, right? It's always made sense. It's always been something that people have asked for. And you want to see the better version of Max Holloway fight a good version of Conor McGregor. Hopefully we get a good version of Conor McGregor and it's not a shell of his former self and he's not gun shy with the leg and everything like that. Well, I hope to see like a new revamped best version of Conor McGregor, and I hope to see the best version of Max Holloway, because that's the only way we know who's the better fighter. But that's it for this episode. I appreciate you guys for watching. You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you know when the next episode is out. I'll catch you on the next episode. Your boy Bando is out. Peace.
How have you not subscribed yet?